Hi friends, it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to Flosstube number 22. Today is Monday, July the 24th, 2023, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. If you're new to my channel, this is a channel about cross stitch patterns, fabric, thread, designers, charts, finishing, all things cross stitch. We'll go ahead and get started. So if you watched my last video, I shared about my friend's son Luke. Luke had a stroke and he's 14 years old. And I want to first thank you guys so much for all the prayers you sent his way. He spent about 2 weeks in the hospital, and then about 2 weeks ago he was transferred to a pediatric rehabilitation hospital, and he got to go home on Friday. So we are super grateful, super appreciative of the prayers for their family, and he is doing so much better. So he still does have a lot of therapy to go through, but my friends covet those prayers, so thank you very much. I also mentioned that my little wiener dog Molly injured her back, and we have done a lot of rest and stuff with her, and she is doing so much better. It was such a challenge keeping her down off the couch, but she's done really well. She spent a lot of time resting, staying in her bed. I had to put up dog gates so she wasn't like trying to jump on things, but she's doing so much better. So thank you again for those prayers as well. Couple things. I want to thank Nichol Spohr for the nice shout out in her last Flosstube. She talked about color and cotton. She was talking about color and cotton and how I exclusively stitch with color and cotton. So thank you so much, Nicole. And I also want to thank Cathy from Hands On Design. She featured one of my finishes in her previous newsletter. It was the small from Let's Talk Summer, and it was turned into a little pillow finish with like a patchwork pillow that my mom had fully finished for me. So thank you both of you ladies, and we're gonna go ahead and dive in this week. I feel like I have a lot to share, so I'm gonna try and keep the video pretty short. I like to have my videos run about 30 minutes because ideally I want them to be something like that you could watch while your kids nap, or watch while you're cooking dinner, or things like that. I know there's a lot of Flosstubers out there, and your time is precious, so I do want to be a good steward of your time. So okay, so let me share with you, I have a couple finishes that I did this week. So my first finish is Halloween Kisses. This is by Primrose Cottage, and I stitched this up like in maybe like an evening. I think it was the night my husband was at the fire station, so I really didn't have to be in bed at any certain time. So I stayed up late and I stitched this, and it is so fun. I like Halloween a lot, but I really don't do like scary Halloween. I have a 4-year-old, which is so weird to say. Parker's birthday was last week, so if you wished him a happy birthday on my Instagram, thank you so much. I did read him the comments and everything. It was so cute. I don't know where the time went because it literally feels like just yesterday I was bringing home this tiny like 3-pound micro preemie baby home. So he is great. He starts pre-K in 2.5 weeks. He's very excited and ready. My mama heart is not. I know I'm just going to be a hot mess that whole entire day, but anyway, okay, so we'll get back to it. So this is Halloween Kisses by Primrose Cottage. I stitched this up in an evening. I used color and cotton floss. I used baby carrots. Purple is boysenberry. The white, I believe, is either pearl white or tusk. The yellow is bumblebee. And the green is tadpole. And I saw this poppy cotton fabric. It's called Kitty Loves Candy. And it was so stinking cute. So I ordered some. So I did my traditional, I've kind of done the same pillow finish with all of the Wishes and Kisses series from Primrose Cottage. So I stuck to it with stitching on one side and fabric on the other. I did the same fabric on the back, and I had some of the selvage, and they had this little row of perfectly pretty pumpkins, and so I snipped it from the selvage and I just did like a zigzag stitch around because I did not want to let that go to waste. So this is my cute finish. I'm really proud of this one. I love, what I was saying was I love Halloween. I like cute Halloween. I don't like scary Halloween. So I think this is probably going to be like my Halloween color palette this year. It was just really fun to do. And like I said, this stitches up really, really quick because it's mostly just words. While I was also bitten by the finishing bug, I pulled a couple things out of my drawer. I have a drawer in my closet here. It's just an IKEA drawer, and I kid you not, there is a stack of previous finishes that I need to fully finish. And so I kind of went through some of those, and I pulled out these two. These are both from the Frosted Pumpkin, and this says, "I love fall most of all." And I stitched this with color and cotton. I did this, gosh, maybe a year or two ago. It was before I kept track of my colors and started really sharing my stitching on Instagram. So I wish I could tell you what colors they are, but unfortunately I just don't remember. The linen is something that I dyed myself. It was my first time actually using Rit dye, and so I did dye this myself. It's just a really nice like cornflower blue. I used this kind of golden orange fabric on the back, and then my rickrack I used a nice soft butter yellow, which I really liked because it was kind of here in that border too. Obviously I did my own color conversion, but unfortunately, like I said, I can't remember what colors I used. So I did fully finish this week. And this is also by the Frosted Pumpkin. This is Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. And I did kind of a soft autumn color palette with like the mugs right here and the leaves and stuff like that. Again, I used color and cotton on this, but I don't remember what I actually used. So I have this really pretty kind of aqua gingham on the back and a nice kind of burnt orange rickrack. This, I know the rickrack's from Color and Cotton. This is one of the ones I got in May when I went to visit their shop. But anyway, I was really proud of these two. And then I actually shared this one on my Instagram this morning. This is Witch's Night Out by Brenda Gervais, and this is stitched on 32 count, I believe, Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I did a color and cotton conversion. All my colors are listed on my Instagram, and I've since put away the colors, otherwise I'd hold them up and show them to you. But I picked a couple different, let me tell you about this finish. I picked a couple different oranges. I used this orange here, which is actually the same as this one, and I liked it because if you look at my pumpkins, you know, there's a lot of variegation in the floss here. So I did something that goes with the lighter orange, and then I did the darker orange for my bow. I mounted this with some black rickrack, and this is on a piece of mat board, and it's also on this piece of mat board. So when you look at it like that, you can see there's a couple different layers. And then for my bow, these both came from Hobby Lobby, and what I did is I just layered the pieces on top of each other. Somebody had sent me a message and asked me where I found this polka dot and gingham ribbon, and it's two separate pieces of ribbon, and I just glued them together. I've actually had this stitched up for several weeks now, but I didn't fully finish it because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to go here in the center. And usually I put like a covered button or I do something like that, and I just could not find the right piece for that. So I was going through a drawer the other day, and I found this little bit of bling right here, and honestly that was a piece of broken costume jewelry, and I got so tickled when I found it because whenever I go out with my husband for like date night, or if I go out with my girlfriends, like I always feel like I want to put on some pretty earrings. I want to, you know, get a little glammed up, and I felt like that was the perfect piece for this. It's Witch's Night Out, so I don't know what she's doing or where she's going, but I felt like she might need a little bit of sparkle too. So anyway, so I shared this on my Instagram this morning, and I'm really proud of this one. A lot of these finishes are going to be entered in my state fair. I participate in the Oklahoma State Fair, So I always do a lot of finishing about this time of year. So over the next coming weeks, keep an eye on my Instagram because I will probably be pulling some stuff out of the drawer to fully finish to enter in the fair this year. So I'm really excited about this. I also have another finish. It's not fully finished yet, but I'm really excited about this one. This is Classic Christmas by Hands On Design. And I stitched this on a piece of color and cotton fabric. And there it is. I did a full color and cotton color conversion. And I love this. I actually want to stitch a couple more of these on some different fabric, and I have a really fun idea. So hopefully once I get a couple more of them stitched, I'll be able to share with you what I'm going to do. But I just loved this one. It's so, I mean, obviously it's called a Classic Christmas, but I just feel like the color palette is a really like vintage Christmas palette. Like it's gonna not ever go out of style, and it will go with everything in my house at least. So I'm really looking forward to stitching this again. Okay, I'm gonna look at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. I have one more, and I don't know what I did with it. I might have to just save that one for next time. Let me share with you some whips. Currently, I have several, which is really funny because I usually only have like 2 or 3 things I work on at a time. But we are leaving in 2 days to go on vacation. We are going to go to Rapid City, South Dakota to visit my family up there. And I am packing all sorts of things for the car. I have a couple bigger projects. I have some small projects. And I'm packing, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 things. I don't anticipate on getting any of those like completely finished, but I want to have options for the car. I want to have things that are in hoops, in project bags, ready to go. So whenever I, you know, can work on something, I can, and I don't have to like worry about moving my hoop in the car or anything like that. And that way I have options for my trip. So one of the things I started this week is the new Roundabout. I think this was actually last week's Roundabout, Home for Christmas. So I started that. Let me put this behind here. And that's about as far as I've gotten on this. I have the word Christmas done. These usually stitch up really quick, so I really think like in maybe like an hour or 2 I'll have this done. I have my flosses right here, and yeah, I'm just kind of sticking to, none of these are the called for, but just color and cotton that are similar to the called for. Okay, my other start, I started on one of these 13 Spooky Smalls from the Primrose Cottage book, and I told you I was going to do a color palette like this for Halloween. So that's all I'm going to say about it right now. I'm still auditioning colors for certain things, but I really think that might be like one of the coolest things I've done recently. So I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you, but I'm not at a point where I have enough progress that I could actually like share something and you would see my same vision. So let me get a little bit more on it, and then I'll probably post a picture. I'm also working on Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs, and I have had this book for a while, and this was one of my favorite pieces. I've actually started stitching it one other time, and I hated the colors I chose, so that got ditched, and I decided to restart it. So I restarted it over like 4th of July weekend. We were at the lake, and this is where I'm at right now. So I decided I wanted a pink bird, and this is called Limited Edition Pink by Color and Cotton. I have not seen it before. I've had it for a couple years, so I don't know that this is still in her color collection. But I think if you want something similar, I think Bunny Nose is a really, really close match to this. This is Thumper over here, and this darker kind of sagey green is Legato. It was from, I think it was the April or May Floss Club, and Thumper was from February, I believe. So I'm working on that right now. The rest of my colors for this piece. I have a little bit of the alphabet done up here, but I'm gonna keep working on this in the car. So that's my progress on that. Okay. So my next start is Boo to You by Brenda Gervais. And I have stitched the bunny rabbit. Is it a bunny? Yes, the bunny rabbit one for Easter. I've stitched the snowman, and now I'm working on this one. I still have the Santa Claus one to do, but I love this. I figure it will be easy fill-in for our trip. So here's where I'm at. And this is stitched on 32 count model pointer by XG Designs. This is actually my first time using XG Designs fabric, and I really love it because it is it has enough modeling and the color looks great, so my white pops really well. So I am really happy with this. I'm probably not going to stitch anymore on the shirt until I'm on my trip because it'll be easy fill-in for the car. And I'm working on my pumpkin head right now. I'm using Color and Cotton Kumquat, and one thing I love about the Color and Cotton floss is that it is heavily variegated, especially this color right here. My dye lot is pretty variegated, so her face, you can really see the variegation and the pretty dye of the floss. I was actually reading the instructions on the pattern, and it said to stitch it in vertical rows and to do half stitches all the way down and then the other half stitches on the way up so it doesn't look too stripy. But my pumpkin girl is just gonna be stripy, and I'm fine with that because that is part of the beauty of using hand-dyed floss. So I'm looking forward to working on that in the car. That's getting entered in the state fair, and here's my color palette for that piece. Not that blue. So, and I will share these on my Instagram. Okay, another new start for my trip is Boo Chockful by Hands On Design. And just like that guy, I've done a couple of these as well. I've done the one with the Santas, and I've done, I think that was Mary Chockful, and I've done the Easter Bunny one, which was, I think, Hip Hop Chockful. So I have Boo, and I still have the Liberty one, and I think I have the Sunflower one to do as well. But I'm really enjoying stitching this. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold. I had a coughing fit yesterday in church. It was so embarrassing. I actually had to get up and like walk out. Okay. Here's where I'm at on this. And again, I'm using Color and Cotton. This is 32 count charcoal by Zweigart. And I really like stitching on this. I do stitch on black sometimes as well, but I really like the charcoal for this look since it is kind of a chalky looking design. So I mentioned I was getting over a cold. The other night I took some NyQuil and I was stitching, waiting for the NyQuil to kick in, and I'd get tired and stuff, and hopefully, you know, be able to breathe while I was sleeping. And I don't know what happened, but I do not recommend stitching and taking NyQuil because I had to unpick this entire pumpkin head. I don't know what I was doing. I miscounted, but on top of that, I started just like filling it in entirely. And obviously you can tell that there's, you know, some, you know, lines kind of right here and in the face. And yeah, I just stitched the entire thing, so I had to like unpick it, and it was a pain. But anyway, I really love this. I'm looking forward to this being done and entering this in the fair as well. And my fabric or my floss for this right here, and I will have that listed on my Instagram. What else? Let me show you what I'm bringing with me. I am going to have a couple of new starts for the trip. One of them is Harvest Blessings by Brenda Gervais. I ordered this from her website this last week, and I also ordered Women of the Mayflower, or the Mayflower one, Coming to America, Women of the Mayflower. I'm not going to start that one this year, but I think this will be a good stitch for the car. And are the flosses that I'm using. Really pretty fall palette. And I'm going to be stitching this on Renaissance by Color and Cotton. What else? I don't have a ton of haul. My mom made me this new project folder this week, and I love it. I like these golden scissors, and then inside we have mustard and hot pink. Here's the back. Thank you, Mom. I love it. This is a pattern by Molly and Mama that she uses, and we love these project folders. I feel like I use project folders almost as much as I use project bags now, because honestly I end up taking my pattern, and I'm just going to use this Housewives one for an example, but I put my pattern in the pocket here, and then I honestly will take my thread and put them up here on a loop and string it in. Of course, like when I'm trying to do it on camera, it's going to be a pain, but I loop it through and fold it up. And this one has two clips up here, so I can usually have a couple patterns in the same one. But yeah, so that's what I've got going on there. I feel like I'm scattered today. I think I just have vacation on the brain. I'm ready to go. What else? I'm looking at my notes. I have 2 giveaways today. Let's go ahead and do those while my goodness, I should be way more organized here. Sorry, it's a Monday. Okay, so I have 2 giveaways this week. My friends at Primrose sent a couple patterns for me to give away. So this is Raindrop Kisses. If you would like to win this pattern, use the word rain in your comment. Make sure you leave a comment below. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, that you like the video, and leave the comment with the word raindrop in it. Sorry, raindrop. If you would like to win Perfect Hot Cocoa, leave the word Christmas in your comment. Again, make sure you like the video and that you're a subscriber to the channel, and I will get these in the mail to you when I get back from vacation. We should be back, I think August 3rd, so you have a week and a half to enter those if you would like to win. Okay, I think that's it. I'm hoping on our vacation we can stop at a couple cross-stitch stores on the way. I really want to stop at Shanty Stitcher in Beresford, South Dakota, and maybe if we make it up in time, I'd really like to pop into Heart's Desire in Wichita. I think that would be like 2.5 hours from where I live, so it might be a good stopping point to get Parker out of the car and stretch our legs and maybe make some purchases. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me today, and we'll see you next time. Happy stitching.